Alright, video is paused. Hey guys, so I'm just going to show you how to color correct something really quick. So if you look at the screen, you can get this window arrangement by just going to Window, Arrangements, and then hit Color Correction. And then you'll get something like this. Now I have uploaded a video, or imported a video of just like a fountain. And then, so that's what I'm going to use to color correct to show you guys what to do. Now, if you look at the top right of your screen, you'll see, like these 4 graphs. These graphs display, like, information about your image. So the first one's called a vector scope. It's like a circle with some stuff in it. The circle represents like a color wheel. It's a standard color correction color wheel with the colors going around it. You can't see the colors because of the way the graph is, but you'll see the colors in like the color correction effect later on. And up here it just shows all your data. The white is like the data of your image, and it shows where all the colors are. And then next to that is a histogram. A lot of that's used for photography. It's pretty much just like the overall contrast, the difference between the whites and the blacks in your image. I don't use that one too much in video color correction. I use a lot more of the 2 bottom ones and the vector scope. The 2 bottom ones on the left is a waveform monitor. This is it's the same thing as a histogram, just arranged differently. It's the overall contrast in your image. It shows like different stuff pretty much. The RGB parade is the same as a waveform monitor, but it's split into the colors of your image, like red, green, and blue, which you can see here. Now, as you can see, like, alright, now you can actually let's go ahead and add the effect. So, you can go to Effects, Video Filters, and then, okay, Video Filters, Color Correction, Color Corrector, not Color Corrector 3-way. And then, just open up the visual for it. And then, now you get these 2 wheels. The one on the right shows the hue. The one on the left shows the overall balance in your image, and you have a bunch of sliders underneath. And then, then you have a limit effect button on the bottom. You can't really see it very well, but now I'm just going to start. So now if you look at the image using the graphs on the right, there's not a lot of contrast. You can see like the white is that line on the top of the RGB parade. That's pure white, and on the bottom, very bottom of the RGB parade, you'll see a black line. Or it's not really a black line, but it's a line that represents pure blacks. So if you notice, neither colors actually touch that line, and there are whites and blacks in this picture. And so that means there's not a lot of very good contrast. So we're going to try to bring out that contrast, try to make this image look a little bit sharper, a little bit cleaner. So I'm going to go over to the color correction. I'm going to drop the blacks down a little bit. And as you can see, as I move the bar, the graphs on the RGB parade and the histogram, they move. And so now you can see some of the colors are touching the black line. I'm going to do the same thing for the whites. And so if you look at the RGB parade, see how the colors stretch out a little bit. And so now they're starting to touch that top line right there. If you look at the image, it just overall has more contrast. It is a little saturated. I'm going to drop the saturation down a little bit because of the contrast. And then just going to adjust the hue a little bit because it had a very reddish tone. Just try to keep it. See now the tree line's looking a little bit more green. So you take some of the red out. So adjust the whites a bit again. A lot of it is just really your opinion. Just really it's simple color correction, which is just correcting your image. You're not color grading it yet. You're just making it look like stock. And as you can see now, the before and after is a big difference. There's a big difference. You can see there's more detail on the top. The hue is better. And so I'm just going to show you what the clip looked like before and after. Just gonna render it out really quick. So now if you look at it, this is the original footage. You can see it's pretty red up by the trees. It's not a lot of contrast. Kind of a little bit blah. And then it just doesn't feel right. You know, it's reddish. It's like a hue over it. Like it's like the atmosphere is like you're on Mars. But really, it wasn't like that in real life. And then you play the other. Oh gosh. Then you play the other footage. See how it's like a lot brighter. It's a lot cleaner. The tree line is actually green like it's supposed to be. Like the grass and the trees and the leaves are green. The water looks a little bit cleaner. You can see the reflection on the pond a little bit better. It's an overall better image. And it's always good to get in the habit of color correcting because it's a simple way to make your movies that much better. And yeah, and then later on you can get into color grading, and you can add effects and like lens flares and different tints and stuff like that. But for right now, I'm just adding a color corrector 3-way just to help it a little bit. This is a little bit into the grading part where you can start adjusting the image to where you just want it to look like overall. So as you can see, I'm pulling the darks and putting it into the blue, so I'm getting rid of some of the yellow. I'm pulling the highlights up into the warmer areas of the color wheel. And as you can see, the color wheels on the left, they correspond to the color wheel on the vector scope, which is the graph on the right side, on the circular graph. As you can see, I don't know if you noticed, but during the video, as I mess around with stuff, the stuff on the graph moves. And it corresponds to the data that you're putting into here. So here, as you can see, as I color graded I finished up the editing the footage. You can see the water's a little bit more bluish, a little bit more reminiscent to how water looks like. And then I'm just going to render that out. Overall cleaner image. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks, guys.